Alert, alert. Another Fulton County deputy shot, folks. This is the second time in a week where a Fulton County law enforcement officer was shot by an armed suspect. Whoa, what in the heck is going on in Fulton County, Georgia? I'm going to share a police press conference. They spoke about this incident. We are praying for the officer's full recovery here. Check it out.
The Atlanta Police Department was dispatched to a help call put out by a Fulton County deputy. We responded to the area of Trinity and Forsyth, where we located a Fulton County deputy who appeared to be suffering from a gunshot wound to his lower extremity. He was transported to Grady Hospital, and at the request of Fulton County Sheriff's Department, the Atlanta Police Department will lead the investigation.
You know how it happened?
We're still trying to gather evidence. We do have some evidence on scene, but we're trying to piece everything together.
Can you modify that as a unmarked vehicle? We see the lights. Can you confirm he was in an unmarked vehicle at the time?
That's correct.
Any motive?
We're still working on that.
Anything you'd like to say to the public? I mean, it's been a pretty bad 2 weeks for law enforcement around Metro Atlanta, just with shootings, and now you have apparently, an officer hit in an unmarked vehicle. What would you like to tell the public as far as from law enforcement and what you guys do every day?
I would just say every day, we're out there patrolling. We don't know how situations are going to go down. Everything happens very quickly for law enforcement, and I would just say prayers for all the officers and everything that's gone on this week.
Anything for the public to be looking out for as far as a suspect, vehicle involved? Anything you guys are putting out there for the public to know?
Not right now, we're not.
So any updates regarding the status of the officer or the deputy who was involved, the sheriff's office will release that information.
Thank you, guys. As far as what it sounded like,
it was sounding like a machine gun. I know it was multiple shots that I heard. Like I said, it was like consistent thunder, and so my friend thought it was thunder. My coworker thought it was a thunder, but it was consistent. It wasn't just one shot.
Reporter Cody Alcorn in Atlanta, Georgia, put an update. Fulton County Sheriff said there were 2 calls for help, one for a suspicious person, and the second one was for the deputy who was shot. Deputy has been with agency for 4 years. Suspect remains at large. So the suspect in this case remains at large. Suspect at large. Who's the suspect? What's the name of the suspect? Do they know who the suspect is? Hopefully we get some more information, but I have an additional press conference that was put out later on. So I'm going to share this new press conference with all of you.
Tonight, actually approximately 5:45 today, we had a Fulton County deputy that was shot. Right now he's in stable condition. The wound was to a lower extremity. We offer, and we want to make sure all of our community offers prayers and certainly to get him through this process. His family's here with him. We want to thank certainly the governor, State Patrol, Clayton County Sheriff Levon Allen is here with us. This investigation is being led by the Atlanta Police Department, and so right now all we know is somewhere on Forsyth and Trinity there was a help call from another unit, one of our units, and ultimately led to this shooting. So that's all we know now. All the other questions around the investigative activities will be deferred to the Atlanta Police Department. Do want to take an opportunity not only to thank the Police Department and Clayton County Sheriff's Office. I want to thank the nurses and doctors here at Grady Hospital. They have done a remarkable job, and again, our officer is in stable condition.
Was the deputy on duty?
He was backing up another deputy, from a help call, and so he was coming from 3 to 5 minutes away, as he put it, and so all that's still under investigation.
Did he make a call for help?
Ultimately, there were 2 calls for help, and so the one that went out for a suspicious person, and then the second asking for help.
And the call for help was in that area where the deputy was shot?
Correct.
The original help call?
Yes.
Sheriff, can you tell us a little bit about how long he's been on the force of service in the county?
Well, we got him from another agency, and so he's been with me for at least 4 years, and he's a really good deputy. And so we are very thankful, prayerful that he will recover. And so again, the doctors and nurses are doing a wonderful job.
What can you say about the person?
Right now, the perp is still at large, and we have every resource available to us looking for this particular individual, or individuals, plural. And so at this point, we'll defer the rest of that to the Atlanta Police Department.
And again, no real understanding yet that you can share in terms of the circumstances of like how this deputy was shot?
As of now, no real understanding, but again, we will defer that to the Atlanta Police Department.
The sheriff has
Anything with law
custody.
enforcement? You guys had a rough 2 weeks. We've seen Fulton County police. So South Fulton last week he shot. This week the deputy shot. What do you want to tell people out there? You know, from a law enforcement standpoint, what you guys have been dealing with in 2 weeks now?
So this has been a rough time for law enforcement. It is certainly a far too common occurrence. We love the doctors and nurses here at Grady, but we certainly don't need to see them this often. And so we ask that our community take part in this apprehension. We ask that our community start exercising a little more patience around some of these violent activities so that we can, one, hold people accountable, but criminals don't have jurisdictional guidelines to go by. And that's why you see Sheriff Allen here from Clayton County and other sheriffs and police departments around the country trying to tamper down this violent behavior. But we're going to get this young man, and we're going to hold him accountable.
What was the role that Sheriff Allen played in all of this? Just support?
Well, mainly support, but ultimately when we have these kinds of tragedies happen, we band together, and so we create a force multiplier. And so again, thanks Sheriff Allen and Sheriff Scandrett and Sheriff from Cobb County, Sheriff Owens. It's a close-knit community. And to your point earlier, this has happened far too often here recently, and there's a level of respect or lack of respect for law enforcement that has become more and more prevalent. And we need to focus on really getting people to think twice, save a life, and really focus on what next looks like in terms of holding people accountable. And we'll continue to do that. I do want to take an opportunity to thank the governor and Georgia State Patrol as well. So they have really stood in the gap when all of these occurrences continue to unfortunately happen. So thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
And just 1 week prior to Fulton County officers were shot by a suspect, and the officers returned fire and killed the suspect. Let me give you some information about that. What we know about the suspect killed in a shootout that injured 2 officers on Fulton Industrial Boulevard. The GBI said Rashawn Cofield, 29, opened fire on 2 officers who had approached him Friday as he was standing on the median of Fulton Industrial Boulevard. That suspect died. But it's just showing you that, these officers in Fulton County seem to be getting shot at. And I'll show you a picture of that suspect. Now, it appears that there is an armed suspect out on the loose. But again, folks, Fulton County's rocking and rolling lately. Seems like they don't like law enforcement there, or what in the heck is happening? Just last week at a hotel, 2 Fulton County officers shot, and then they killed the suspect. Unclear what's going on here with the armed suspect with this case here, but they need to explain a few things in Fulton County in reference to all these officers and deputies being shot. But as soon as we get a suspect, we'll share that name on JLR Investigates. You heard from law enforcement. We will talk soon. Praying for Fulton County. JLR Investigates. Stay tuned.